And welcome everybody. Delegate Torian is on the road and is joining us by cell phone. It was unclear that would work as well with the technology, so I've been asked to chair this meeting, and I'm honored to do so. The purpose of this meeting is to review and recommend for approval financing of proposed incentive packages for economic development projects. These economic development projects require MEI Commission review under Code of Virginia 30-310 because the proposed incentive packages involve an in-state relocation of existing Virginia jobs. Additionally, we will review requests for second extensions of project performance agreements, which require review by the Commission. As a reminder, since we are meeting virtually, all votes taken during this meeting will require a roll call vote. And Lisa Wallmeyer, will you please call the roll to ensure that we have a quorum?
Yes, Madam Chair. Delegate Bulova?
Present.
Speaker Fillercorn?
Present.
Delegate Rush? Delegate Sickles?
Present.
Delegate Torian?
Did you hear me?
Yes, sir. Is Delegate Torian on the call yet? Okay. Delegate Tyler?
Present.
Delegate Ware?
Here.
Senator Howell?
Here.
Senator Locke?
Here.
Senator Norment?
Here.
Senator Ruff?
Here.
Senator Saslaw? Secretary Lane?
Here.
Secretary Ball?
Here.
We have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you. At this time, in order for the Commission to consider the incentive packages and the potential for new jobs and capital investment associated with these economic development projects, it will be necessary to meet in closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Delegate Bulova.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the MEI Project Approval Commission convene in a closed session to discuss the previously unannounced expansion or location of a business in planning districts 8 and 15. The closed session is authorized pursuant to subdivision A5 of section 2.23711 and subdivision A39 of section 2.133711. Pursuant to section 2.23712F of the Code of Virginia, the Commission also requests that council and staff attend because it believes their presence will reasonably aid the Commission in its consideration of the topic that is subject to the closed meeting.
Madam Chair, I'll call the roll again.
Yes, would you please?
Delegate Bulova?
Aye.
Speaker Fillercorn? Speaker Fillercorn? Delegate Rush? Delegate Sickles?
Aye.
Delegate Torian? Delegate Tyler?
Aye.
Delegate Ware?
Aye.
Senator Howell?
Aye.
Senator Locke?
Aye.
Senator Norment?
Aye.
Senator Ruff?
Aye.
Secretary Lane?
Aye.
Secretary Ball?
Aye.
The motion's approved.
So now we will go into our closed meeting. Do we need to change anything? Or just stay where we are?
Madam Chair, just stay where you are. I'm going to send, you'll see a button pop up that'll, if you click on that, will move you to the assigned closed meeting breakout room.
I don't see a button. Okay. Okay, is everyone with us now? It looks like it.
Yes.
Okay. Lisa, do you have a motion for us?
Not a motion per se, but I need you each to certify that to the best of your knowledge, only matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements and identified in the closed meeting motion were discussed in closed session. Delegate Bulova?
Aye.
Speaker Fillercorn?
Aye.
Delegate Rush? Delegate Sickles?
Aye.
Delegate Torian?
Since I thought it was her, I didn't tell cops the truth.
Delegate Tyler?
Aye.
Delegate Ware?
Aye.
Senator Howell?
Aye.
Senator Locke?
Aye.
Senator Norment?
Aye.
Senator Ruff?
He's celebrating.
Okay. Secretary Lane?
Aye.
Secretary Ball?
Aye.
Then I've specifically noted that for Senator Ruff. The motion's certified.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask members if they would like to remove any of the incentive packages discussed in the closed session from the block.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Senate Delegate Bulova.
I have a motion.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I move that the MEI Project Approval Commission recommend for approval the incentive packages from the Commonwealth of Virginia as described to the Commission this day by the Virginia Economic Development Partnership and per the Commission's discussion in closed session. This recommendation includes proposed incentive packages applying to 1, a telecommunications network provider considering relocation and expansion in Planning District 8, and 2, a distribution center considering relocation and expansion in Planning District 15. This recommendation is subject to VEDP entering into customary MOUs containing the appropriate clawback and proration provisions.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Let's have the roll call.
Delegate Bulova?
Aye.
Speaker Fillercorn?
Aye.
Delegate Sickles?
Aye.
Delegate Tyler?
Aye.
Delegate Ware?
Aye.
Senator Howell?
Aye.
Senator Locke?
Aye.
Senator Norment?
Aye.
Senator Ruff?
Aye.
Motion's approved.
Thank you. Okay, now we would like to hear from Stephen Moray about requests for extensions.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair. And hopefully you all can, excuse me, see the slides I just put up. So we have 2 second extension requests for your consideration today. Before I talk about the specifics, let me just remind you of the code provisions. So this goes back to 2017, at least the latest structure of this. For COF, Commonwealth Opportunity Fund grants that are made by the Commonwealth, an extension of up to 15 months can be granted with the approval of the VDP Board of Directors. But if a second extension request, an additional up to 15 months additional is requested by a company, or for that matter, for any subsequent request, it must be approved by both the board and the MEI Commission. And that's why these are coming to you. There are 2 projects for which they are making a second extension request. Normally, there's also a 5% fee to the companies to make those requests, but because these 2 projects meet the force majeure provision, which is essentially that their expansion was negatively impacted by COVID, we're not proposing that fee would apply in these 2 cases. All extension requests do require the support of the local government involved, and these 2 do have the support of the local government. So these have gone through the process with the Project Review and Credit Committee, locality support, VDP board support. That said, as I've said to you all in the past, these are obviously totally discretionary on your part, and up to you to decide whether or not you would like to approve them. So with that, again, there's 2 of these. The first one is Blue Wolf in sales and service in Tazewell County. By the way, I should have said there's one other very important point I should have made at the outset here, and that is that prior to roughly 2017, maybe slightly in 2016, the vast majority of Commonwealth Opportunity grants were paid up front. And then that sort of put the Commonwealth in a position of having to collect clawbacks later on or deal with extensions and that kind of thing. And these two are in that mode. The vast majority of the time since 2017, and by vast majority, I mean probably 98, 99% of the time, incentives are only provided post-performance. So over time, the extensions you're going to get are not situations where we've already paid the grants as these are, but situations where we haven't yet paid, or at least haven't yet paid the full grant, but a company's looking for more time to perform. So I just wanted to share that for context. Okay, so Blue Wolf and Tazewell, this grant was it's a small project. It was originally approved in August of 2015. The original performance date was May 1 of 2019. It was extended to August 1 of 2020. There was an additional second extension request made a few months ago that was approved by the board in January. So we're now bringing it to you. They do need this additional extension request because the job creation commitment that they have is actually the statutory minimum. So if they don't get the extension, they would have to, repay the entire amount that they received. We have verified both the jobs and the capital investment to date. The capital investment is at 98% of what they committed, so they're basically there. The gap is on jobs, so they'd only added about 6 new jobs at $29,000 verified, and that was against a commitment at the time of a $27,400 wage commitment. I could go into further details, but they've basically suggested they were negatively impacted by COVID, but there are a number of relationships they have with customers that suggested them that they will be able to meet the job creation commitments at the end of this extended period that they're asking you all to approve. One other, I guess, contextual point I should make here is that it is, it's going to be common that companies suggest optimism that they can make it. Obviously, they want to have a chance to be able to perform. And I think historically there's been, at least some level of willingness to support that when there's at least some progress, as is the case with both of these, or at least with both these projects, at least partially making progress. But I do want to be clear that we can't guarantee to you if they do get the extension, they will perform. But it simply would mean that they would have more time if they don't make it to pay back, the clawback that would be due. Ultimately, in any case, if they don't get there, they'll owe the clawback. I'm sorry, if they don't get there, they'll owe the clawback or a partial clawback.
Madam Chairman.
Senator Ruff.
What is the total employment now?
The total employment at the site. Yep. Let's see here. Let's see. Senator Ruff, I believe we were, the total in Q4 of 2020, which I think is the latest we have verified, was about 13. So that would represented a net increase of 6. I think there were about 7 when the project began.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further question on this project? Okay.
Okay. The second one is Solid Stone Fabrics in Henry County. They're a manufacturer and distributor of textiles. This was another relatively modest COF grant, $50,000 approved in the middle of 2016. So again, both of these were kind of before all the VDP reform stuff that you all adopted in 2017. They had an original performance date of October 2019. That was extended to early this year. They've indicated to us that because of the pandemic, they do not expect that they'll be able to get there. And therefore, they have asked us for an extension to an additional extension, from you all. On the project, the target was 22 new jobs at an average of 33,000 over a baseline of 46. And $1.5 million capital investment. They have made actually exceeded the capital investment amount, but they actually are below the original job baseline. So they've actually lost jobs since the project was first announced. But they do think they're going to be able to make a comeback, if you will. They sell flags and textile products to academic institutions and tourist attractions. An example would be Disney. As you know, Disney was quite out of business last year, so they went down roughly 90% with their business there. They had some temporary activity making PPE during the pandemic, but that was certainly not enough to be able to sustain the level of employment, let alone to increase employment. They have a number of opportunities they see in front of them that they do think that they will be able to ultimately get there. I think it's a little optimistic to think that they will, but we in general have tried to be somewhat accommodating to companies that have been impacted by the pandemic, and certainly this is one of those firms. So we are recommending this one for your consideration as well.
Madam Chair,
Delegate Volva.
just out of curiosity, what would the clawback on something like this be if they weren't able to go ahead and meet their job and performance goals?
Yeah, I think at this time, Delegate Volva, it was typically based 50% on capital investment and 50% on jobs. So since they have achieved the capital investment total, I'm so sorry, I take that back. They have to meet the statutory minimum. So if they don't create at least the minimum jobs and capital investment, it would be the full amount. It'd be 50,000 would come back. Now, if they split, if they hit the statutory minimums, but they don't hit the required numbers that they committed to, then the amount would be basically proportional to what they actually achieve. So here, for example, they achieved the capital investment amount, so they would keep roughly half the grant if they were to meet the statutory minimum on jobs. And then for the job piece, it would be proportional to that as well. But in this case, because the jobs are actually below the baseline, if we stop today, they would owe us the full 50,000 back.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chairman.
Yes, Senator Norman.
Madam Chairman, Steve and I expressed their enthusiastic optimism, but basically they're going to have to double their current employment force to meet the standard. My question, Stephen, is it statutorily mandatory that we extend for 15 months, or can we give them a lesser extension to measure some metrics to see whether or not they're making progress, rather than waiting 15 months to find that they're unable to meet that expectation?
Great question, Senator Norman. That is totally up to you, how long you make the extension. Usually the code says up to 15 months, and usually it's 15 months, but there's nothing that requires you to make it 15 months.
Madam Chairman, if the MEI group was to consider a more compressed period of time, with your infinite insight, what would you recommend?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what would I recommend?
You're the boss, man. You're supposed to lead us.
Well, part of this is a question of how often you all would like to consider these, extension requests. So that it's a little bit of a judgment call from that perspective. I do think the challenge here is that we're a few months from having everybody having had an opportunity to be vaccinated, and then presumably you'd expect a ramp up of travel activity after that. So I do think one of the challenges here is, in particular, when we think about travel. Now, obviously, this is a little bit more tourism-oriented travel, so hopefully that'll come back faster. But I would expect that, I would certainly expect it would be many, 6 to 9 months before they would have much more visibility, on their sales outlook. So if you did set a shorter time, I don't know that you'd want to make it that much shorter, candidly, maybe 9 to 12 months. But again, we don't have any strong feelings here. I think as long as you all were willing to, have it be on the agenda, if you wanted to have them be shorter, we could. The code allows. Technically, there's no maximum on extension. So if you wanted to grant a third extension later on, I'm not saying we would suggest that, but that would be an option that you would have available to you.
Madam Chairman, does Stephen, just a parenthetical comment? I don't know nothing about investing now, but I know, Disney is cranking up a little bit with an incentivization over the Easter holidays of a 35% discount. But interestingly enough, you mentioned Williams-Sonoma. Williams-Sonoma has had an extraordinary run even during this COVID situation, and their stock price has reflected in the run-up dramatically, and that's part of the reason, I'm asking this. No, I don't have a recommendation.
Madam Chair, this is
Yes, Secretary Ball.
yeah. I would just add Henry County has been a tough area to get projects done. These folks make flags. I think they make American flags, which is nice that they're making them in this country. I would give them all the runway they need to try to hit their goals here. It's a distressed area. Tazewell County, referring back to the other one, it's even more distressed. And so that would be the recommendation from Commerce and Trade, ma'am, that we accommodate these folks as much as we can, and unless and until a conclusion is formed that they're never going to be able to achieve the metrics.
And Madam Chair, I would just.
Okay,
clarify-
I have not,
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
yes.
I was just going to clarify the Williams-Sonoma relationship is new. So just did want to make that clear for the group.
Well, I have not heard any motion to change the timing. So I would, if there's no objection, suggest we put these two extensions in a block.
Madam Chairman, I'd say if the Henry County one doesn't meet the expectation, that we take that grant money out of the salary of the Secretary of Commerce.
And put it in the chair of Senate Finance and Appropriations.
I'm all for it.
If there's an upside incentive, if they do succeed, that I might be interested in that, sir.
Madam Chair, fortunately, we only have 10 months left, so an extension of 15 months. I think you're okay, Brian.
Okay, I think then
Madam
Delegate
Chair,
Bulba has a motion.
I'm going to help out Secretary Ball by wrapping this up before he gets in any more trouble with a motion. I move that the MEI Project Approval Commission approve the extension requests as described to the Commission this day by the Virginia Economic Development Partnership, which includes 1, a 15-month performance date extension for Blue Wolf sales and service from August 1, 2020 to November 1, 2022. And secondly, a 15-month performance date extension for Solid Stone Fabrics from January 1, 2021 to April 1, 2022.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion and the second. Please
Madam
call the
Chair.
roll.
Not
Yes.
to pick up on a minor detail here, but I think the date actually would be November 1, 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
For that first one?
Correct.
Okay. Yes, that's what my notes say.
Okay, I thought I heard 22. Just wanted to clarify.
Okay, so it's 2021.
The first one is 2021. The second one is 2022.
One is 2022.
Uh,
Okay, is everybody clear? Okay, Lisa, if you could call the roll.
Delegate Bulba,
Aye.
Speaker Fillercorn,
Aye.
Delegate Sickles,
Aye.
Delegate Tyler,
Aye.
Delegate Ware,
Aye.
Senator Howell,
Aye.
Senator Locke,
Aye.
Senator Norment,
A soft eye.
Senator Ruff.
Aye.
The motion's approved.
Good, thank you. Is there any more business to come before the MEI? Hearing none, we'll adjourn.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thanks so
you,
much.
Chair.
You.
Nice
Take care.
afternoon.
All righty. Have a good one.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.